107.5 WBLS, your number one source for R&B.
107.5 WBLS in the company of your girl, Shaila. And, honey, let me tell you something. First of all, what caught my attention with this show first is that it's based in my hometown, and that would be Harlem. We've got Cease and we've got Dutchess from Black Ink Crew. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good, good. Y'all just wake up? What's happening?
Man.
Well, I'm under the weather, so my voice is a
Oh,
little...
okay.
It's okay. I'm here.
Yes, you are here, and that is a good thing.
And this weekend we was just doing a tattoo convention in Baltimore.
You were doing what?
A tattoo convention.
Really?
Yeah, in Baltimore. So we was really working, and we had to troop all the way back to NY.
Yes.
Last night.
Well, y'all look good. It's just y'all made sound a little
we're
sleepy.
We're a little harsh.
Yeah. Yeah. So how did Black Ink? How did that store come to be?
Oh man, it was just a bunch of artists who was like, yo, listen, we got to do something. Cause I had a shop in Brooklyn at the time, and my friend, he wanted to open up Black Ink.
Okay.
And he asked me for his help. I was like, a shop in Harlem? Hey, let's do it. And it's Black owned, but he couldn't keep up with it. He didn't know the industry. So I ended up taking it all the way over.
Okay. All right.
And now I'm the CEO of Black Ink.
I see that. How did you two meet?
Me and Dutchess, we met through, we could say, like, mutual friends. Like, we was doing tattoo conventions and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And Dutchess, she was just running by the shop one time, and she was like, this is where your shop is. She came in wanting a job and whatnot. We sat there and kicked it for a little while, and I ended up hiring her. But at the time, I didn't even own the shop, but I was doing everything as the boss. Like, he never showed up. I was making all decisions, from hiring people to firing people. Like, it was like I was getting groomed for this job.
Right. And Dutchess, how'd you end up in New York?
I came to New York because my brother got killed, and the guy who taught me how to tattoo died from cirrhosis of the liver. So I was just trying to, like, find an escape, I guess you can say.
Mm-hmm.
And everything that was surrounding me reminded me of them. And I just thought, why don't I go very far away?
Right.
And I came to New York.
And what led you to Black Ink?
Well, I was working in a shop in Brooklyn. That's kind of like where I got my background in tattooing, so to speak. The guy who taught me how to tattoo in North Carolina, when he passed away, I didn't really want to tattoo anymore because it just hurt to, put that connection together.
Mm-hmm.
So when I got to New York, I still had that passion. I still had that love. I had a job at an architecture firm because I graduated from North Carolina A&T.
Really?
Yeah. I have 2 degrees from North Carolina A&T. I started my master's there, but I ended up not finishing because I fell in love with tattooing, which I hope to pick back up and finish. But I came here working for a job at an architecture firm as a marketing rep, like creating the brochures and stuff for all of these expensive properties that my mind never even fathomed seeing. And I hated the job,
right?
But it was good money, but I love tattooing.
Really?
So I ended up stumbling back in it.
But, I'm so glad you said that, because these shows have a tendency to show a side of our women and just show them from this point forward, not showing where they come from.
Yes, I have a major problem with that.
I have one too.
I graduated from an HBCU, North Carolina A&T, one of the greatest black learning institutions in this country. Our HBCUs are starting to really suffer, and they're not getting the support that they really deserve because we don't have some of the recognition, and you don't see some of the greatest people that, like me growing up, you saw some of the greatest people talk about their education and where they went to school at. That's what made me want to go to a HBCU. Now it's like if you talk about going to college, it's like you think you better than somebody or you uppity. But why can't you be proud of your accomplishments, proud of something that you really enjoyed? College was the greatest years of my life, and I think that it's very important that people realize and understand that, yes, I am a tattoo artist. Yes, I am on a reality show, but I come from a great learning institution, and that is where my foundation was started, and that's what has made me be able to do some of the things that I've done and open up a tattoo shop and all of these other things. But it's just sad that that's not important enough or deemed entertaining enough to be a part of the reality show.
This angry person.
That's
all
all
the
you
time.
see.
Right,
That's
exactly.
all you see. It's
so
terrible.
I'm glad that you were able to clear that and say that here.
Yes.
And hopefully now it'll spread like wildfire, and they'll understand that you do have a background. You are educated.
Actually,
You're just not someone who just popped up on the screen and is a raving lunatic in the middle of the street.
Well, see, I think me having a college background and I'm different from everybody else and I'm not from New York, that's what makes it easy to attack me. I don't have any friends. I don't have any family here. I'm here by myself.
Right.
So I'm an easy target, and I get it. All of these people grew up around each other, so they're already clicked up, and I'm the outcast, so to speak. So if you were put in a new place where you know nobody, you have no friends, no family, what's the best thing for you to do in a position like that? To build a wall up of defense.
Right.
And that's why I'm looked at as so angry all the time, because I'm always instigated and antagonized, and really the only thing I did was come to New York to try to create a successful career. In the journey of that, I fell in love with Cease. All of his friends had such a major problem with that they just made me the problem.
Right.
When in all actuality, there was really no problem. The problem was within themselves.
Right. Yeah, well, as I was trying to watch as many episodes as I possibly could over the weekend, I'm like, wow, this is kind of like Black Orgy Crew. A lot going on with everybody, being with everybody. How are you managing things now, Cease, with, all that was going on? I don't know. I think that was all last season. Now she's moved back.
No.
Have you moved back yet?
TV is very deceiving.
Okay.
See, this is how the show happens.
Okay, tell me.
We film for 3 weeks at a time.
Right.
Of those 3 weeks, it's maybe 5-6 days a week that we're filming. Out of that 3 weeks, 5-6 days, they take all of those hours of footage, those thousands of minutes of footage, and they reduce it to 42 minutes. That's what y'all get to see.
Exactly.
We have to be educated consumers and understand that what we're watching is for entertainment.
Exactly.
And they're only going to show you what is deemed important to make their pockets fat.
Exactly.
So you have to be just a little bit. Like, you ever watch the show How Things Are Made, like on Discovery Channel, where they show like how a microphone is made and the different components?
Yep.
It should be a show made of how reality TV is made, so that people can understand that it's a lot that goes into creating these TV shows.
Right.
A lot of the footage that we have was created a year and 6 months ago, 18 months ago. They have 18 months to edit that footage and to make it whatever storyline they want
and
to.
they show us what they want us to see.
And that's all they show you.
Exactly.
And that's why I like for people to get to know me or follow my social media, so that they can get to know who I really am. Because if you are judging me from an edited perception, then you're never going to know the real me.
Yeah, right. So what's going to happen with Black Ink now? I mean, are you going to close it? You close it down. I did see an episode where you shut it down for a second.
It was only like
what's
4 months.
happening now?
I mean, we had to, at that time in our lives, we just had to make sure everything was right with us. Like, I had to shut down Black Ink at that time because I didn't feel anybody was responsible enough to run it like I would run it, especially for the time frame I was going to be away. I didn't know how long I was going to be away. I just knew that I had to take care of my relationship. I wouldn't be able to stay in New York and concentrate on Black Ink if I'm still concentrating on Dutchess and making sure she's all right. So I had to make that step back as a man and basically follow her lead on this whole situation with Pretty and Nate. So at the end of the day, we took care of what we needed to take care of as a couple, and then I came back and opened up the doors back on 113th, and then I opened up a new shop on 125th Street.
Now, where are you now with Puma? Are you back on? Is that the TV?
You really been watching.
And let me tell you something. I had to cram. I keep telling you, I had to cram everything in this weekend. So
I mean, if you watch the last episode, you can see where me and Puma's at. You know what I mean? We don't talk about it. Like, I'll be honest with you, Puma. I feel like for the last 2-3 seasons, he's been on some fake feuding with me, because if you watch it, I don't even talk about Puma anymore. Right. Besides the point that he tried to jump me and my fiance, I really have nothing more to say.
So right now, he's just a separate entity.
He's just a separate entity.
And he's doing his thing.
He's doing whatever he does. Right. I'm doing whatever I'm, like, honestly, I'm not concerned about that. I'm not seeing, like, an ex-friend as an enemy. He's seeing me as an enemy. I got bills to pay. I got a family to hopefully look forward to. So at the end of the day, I'm not sitting here worrying about him. I'm a tattoo artist. He just want to be a shop owner. I got that title and more.
A family looking forward to. Does that mean?
I mean,
that we are.
I mean, we doing all this work for something.
What,
one
Dutchess?
day.
Come on, help me out here.
I don't know.
Are we glowing for a reason?
No, I'm not pregnant at all. No, please, no. Please, no.
Now,
I'm not ready for that. Yeah.
Your daughter, are things better?
Yeah, things is way better. I'm
A
supposed to
lot.
be meeting up with her today
See?
after the interview for lunch.
God is good.
Yeah,
Because
you
that was going to be my next question as far as trying to, because for me, the video, all this footage that you're saying is that's let out there is like a tattoo on her brain. And what she sees and how you treat her mother is definitely going to be recorded in something that she can see on a regular. That's her tattoo.
I already know.
So I'm hoping that from this point forward, we won't have any of that on video so that she doesn't have to see that kind of stuff.
That's not, I tell you the truth, this is not on me. I'm trying to do my best to rectify the situation, but sometimes people are just envious and you can't control that. No matter how much money you throw at them, no matter how much you try to sit there and try to rectify the situation, some people are just not happy until you're miserable. With me now, I'm just happy that out of this whole situation, my daughter we got through whatever we got through, because people don't understand. She had to get teased when I got locked up. I didn't have to deal with anything. I came home a couple hours. They made it seem like I was in there for 2 days. I was in there for a couple hours and came back home. Because the sergeant even like, yo, this is a bench warrant. This is foolish. The lieutenant just wants to be on TV. That's why you bring 20 people to serve a bench warrant. It don't make no sense. But at the end of the day, I dealt with that because I'm on TV. I'm used to some of the negative stuff. But my daughter shouldn't have to deal with that. You know what I mean? Like, kids are cruel. My shop is like 6 blocks away from her school. To think about, like, yo, your father don't take care, your father don't care about you. I didn't want that because I know how it is growing up not having a father and only having your mother to sit there and provide for you. So I will never want my daughter to feel that way, that your father's on TV. He's supposedly the king of Harlem with this tattooing thing, and he don't even care about me. That's not the perception I want the world to even think about. When I got arrested, it wasn't for no backed up child support. It was because I didn't appear in court. I didn't know about the court date. If I knew I would appear, I mean, God knows she been in court. I mean, I get chewed out anyway. No matter if my joint is on 0 or I owe $2, the judge just chews me out. So it's something I deal with all the time. So only thing I got from this experience is that I got to protect my daughter from a lot more from other people's stupidity.
I tell people a lot of times it's very difficult to be in this life. My family didn't sign a contract. I did. C's daughter didn't sign a contract. He did. Other cast members have children. Their children didn't sign a contract. Their parents did. So for them to have to deal with the reactions of people in social media, the reactions of their friends, and the opinions of people in the community, like, some people, that's why I tell people it's important for them to be intellectual viewers and to understand that they're watching a TV show that is made for entertainment. Because when you start attacking people and involving their real lives, you are crossing the line. And that's a line that as a viewer, you should just stay in your place and just watch. Because if you can't have a certain level of restraint to not ask ignorant questions or to not provoke ignorant situations, especially with a child, you really might not be smart enough to watch this type of TV.
Well, I think what happens is that, just like you said, they show us what they want us to see. So that's all we have. We don't know Cease. We don't know Dutchess. So we go by what we see on the television. That's the purpose.
Just look
of
at how
this
many
reality show.
Just look at how many countless children have died in police custody in just this year that no one's talking about. Just imagine, there's Sandra Bland, but guess what? There's 20 other Sandra Blands across this country that we're not talking about. And the reason why we're not,
they won't let us.
No,
I had a young gentleman from Philly who got shot by the police and survived. And I wanted to bring him on the show. He wanted to get a tattoo. Do you know what they told me? This is not important. How is this not important when this is a social concern that our demographic of people are dealing with every single day? If you're going to give us this platform, then give us some power to use it in a position that can affect the things that we see as important, not the things that they only see as important.
But
a lot of people don't understand how much stuff we do for the community.
It's built on that sensationalism. So they keep it until they've wrung it out for as much as they possibly could, and now it's dry, and then the show goes away.
That's the problem we feel like with reality TV. We understand there's an A side, but there also should be a B side to every character. People don't see how much stuff we do for kids in Harlem, for kids down south. For she just did something for single dads in North Carolina.
I had a single dad event. They came to the shop, picked them up in a limo, took them to get haircuts at the barbershop. Then me and Cease took them bowling, took them out to eat. While we took them out to eat.
I won too.
Their children, he lying. Their children was at my shop. I
Right.
shut down my business for the day. My mother, my cousin, my family babysat their children, watched the movies with them, taught them how to make candy apples. Do you know these dads? These are dads. Nobody talks about single dads doing their thing. Nobody talks about this demographic of people. Every month, my tattoo shop does a charity event. We've dressed women from the homeless shelter, give them head-on makeovers from head to toe. I've done an art class for the kids at foster care.
Call me up. Tell
on.
me what you're doing in the neighborhood. This is a local radio station. We would love to let people know what you're doing in the community.
Truthfully, we in Harlem, so me and her would just pop up at soup kitchens and just start serving. Like, we do stuff like that just to surprise people, or pop up at charity basketball game for kids. And be like, oh my God, you here?
Pop up at schools.
Right.
Like we do a lot of things.
Like last week, I was in what's that, Boys and Girls Club, and these are kids that have 3-4 strikes, been kicked out of schools, and people don't understand. I've been through the same thing. I got kicked out of 4 high schools, and I sat there and told them, like, don't let anybody tell you nothing. That's what they used to tell me and look at me, yo. They told me I couldn't do this and I couldn't do that just because I had a little behavior problem. But it's not a behavior problem. Sometimes that learning institute ain't suited for everybody. So most of these people who have attitudes are grown leaders, are born to be leaders, yo. They're born to do something. So at the end of the day, don't tell them that they're never going to be nothing, because at the end of the day, they're going to really develop that mind frame that they're
that
nothing.
mindset, exactly. But it's up to you people now, you two, people your age, to feed into those kids' lives. Just like my people, my age group has tried to pour into your life, you know, and as your mothers and your fathers continue to do on a regular basis. Now, I do want to say that I thank you for all that you do. Because, see, I didn't know any of that. And there's just like me, there's somebody that's listening that all they see is the screaming and the hollering and the sleeping around and all that kind of stuff on the episode. I'm glad to see the B-side.
You know, the beautiful thing of it is I'm from North Carolina, and every news station where I'm from has done stories on every single charity event that I've done. I do it for those young kids that look at, those young girls that look at me and like, dang, Dutchess did it, maybe I can do it. Yeah, Dutchess followed her dreams even though everybody told her she wasn't going to be able to do it, even though everybody said she wasn't going to, even though she didn't have this or have that. That's the type of things that grows a community of strong individuals. Our children are weak because they're looking at weak individuals. Right. They don't know how to be strong. They have to have an example for them to see that, okay, that's what I can do. When they see all of the fancy cars, the jewelry, and, you know, the long weaves, when they see those things glorified, those are the things that they start to want, because that's what they see. Right. If we start showing them different things, they'll want different things. But until we can do that as a mass, it's never going to change. It's just like the Willie Lynch papers, and we still follow it every day. Still to this day.
Well, I'm hoping at this point what will happen is that we'll start that conversation, and maybe VH1 will wake up and realize that just as much as you want to show the A side, you've got to have some kind of balance.
I love watching T.I. and Tiny for that reason. Yeah, see? Their show is so positive. Yeah. And it's on the same network as us. And I'm like, how could they show these people in such a positive light when, I mean, just look at it. T.I. done been through some stuff in the media.
But it could be because they'll say, we won't do it if you don't do it. And they'll say, okay, well, we want T.I. and Tiny, so we're going to do that. It'll get to that point.
I mean, honestly, I could understand certain things on TV because T.I. and Tiny ain't doing our numbers. Like, we might surpass Love and Hip Hop real soon. And this is only, our 4th season. Right. So at the end of the day, we understand certain things that make TV. And guess what? We're not perfect. That's us on TV. That's us hollering and screaming. Right. I'm not going to sit here and try to play it like what. But guess what? Besides just that, we do a lot more other stuff than just sit there and holler and scream. Right. Like
and it's up to you.
That's the minor part of who we are.
Don't give them so much of that then. You know, you've got to be persistent in what you want. For your image to be.
Let me tell you why it's so difficult.
I understand
when you have a camera that's following you almost every second of every minute in there.
6 months.
I know.
And you can't filter everything because you're human.
Exactly. I'm so glad that you've cleared up some of that for us today, and hopefully, you know, now tell them how they can follow you. Those who don't have your social media names and all of that kind of stuff. Tell us where we can follow you, where we can find you.
Well, mine is Ceasar. Black ink, real easy.
Spell it because it ain't easy for some people. Spell
I was about
Caesar.
to say, some people spell Caesar different ways.
Yes, they do.
I guess I spelled it the black way.
Yes.
CEASER.
You do.
Black ink. Has all social medias. You catch me on it when I'm on it. You know what I mean? You might see me posting a picture. You might see me Snapchat.
Might see you at a soup kitchen. Might see.
Yeah, you know.
There's
but stuff like that, I tell you the truth, I'm not really good with that. I told you before, I'm not really good with my social media. So you're not going to see me Snapchat. And I don't do it for social media. I do it to influence because no one was there for me. No one was there and was like, yo, Caesar, this is the blueprint on how to do it. Right. I had to step out of my comfort zone and do everything on my own.
But you also need to do it, Cease, just so that you can show these young kids that this is what you do. So you may not want that every time you go somewhere for community service to do it, but just let them know that this is a part of you too. This is what you do, and this is cool too.
Well, I'm going to tell you a reason why I don't do it. Every year I've given out a $1,000 scholarship. I dress 20 girls for the prom every year. Like, the reason why I don't broadcast all of that stuff is because these people that I'm doing that stuff for, sometimes that makes people feel like, oh, well, I had to get a hand down. You don't want people that you're helping to feel any type of way. But I definitely don't. I want them to appreciate the instance, and that's it.
But you do
that
need
smile
to
on their
let
face
some
is enough.
people who may need that help to know that you do that kind of thing so that they can get help from you. They would never know if you keep it to yourself, if you just keep it within you and 20 other people.
Well, see, for me, I am a prisoner of my life because of reality TV. Like, I'm going to just be honest with you. I don't go places because of this. I don't broadcast on, so I don't even post on my page anymore because I can't deal with the negativity that it brings. It's hard for me to even post some of my tattoos because of such all of the cyberbullying and negativity, and everybody like, well, you should have tough skin, you should have thicker skin. Well, I'm human, and I'm not a New Yorker. Right. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have to be born with tough skin because I didn't come from an environment that was like that. I come from the country where we didn't have to worry about seeing Louis Vuitton and Chanel. We didn't have none of that stuff around us. You just got your mama, your daddy, your cousins, and it's family. Right. So I'm not used to having to be like that in my life. And having this newfound position that we're now going through, I'm having to take it one day at a time because it's something that I'm not used to and I never asked for. So it's real hard to try to like deal with some of the negative parts that come with it because just as much positive that comes from it, just as much as people we got that love us, we got that hate us. Yeah. And I'm a woman. I get emotional, especially let my period be on. I would sit here and be crying my eyes out if I read a negative comment on Instagram, and that's ridiculous.
It's wonderful to see the interaction between you and Cease because I see a vast difference between your personality and yours.
You know, everywhere I go, that's what people say.
There's somewhere you all are connecting, and somewhere it's charging you, and somewhere it's charging you. Because I was talking to one of our colleagues here, and I was saying, you know, they were saying, wow, because she's so, she got so much energy. She's just so over the top. And I said, you know what? It's not over the top for him because, see, every man needs his own set of poison. Poison that's not going to kill him, but every man needs his own poison. And he picks his poison. And he knows which poison is going to kill him and which one he needs. Because when you left, the TV had us believing that you left, you looked like there was a void that needed to be filled. And it was gone. And that's what you need. Jameer sitting here, he's a huge fan, and that's who I was telling that, you know, he's like, well, I don't know if I need that kind of woman. Well, you may not, but believe me, there's a woman in your life who is your portion of poison. And it seems like you've gotten...
Yeah, I got my poison.
Yeah.
I don't like that. That seems like a negative connotation.
It's not a negative connotation. It's what he needs. Because just like you just finished saying, there's
what do I need?
Positive and a negative. You need the pot. That is your poison too. He's your poison because he gives you, I mean, I think of the episode where I saw the touching somebody and you had an issue with that and you realized that it wasn't that serious afterwards, but you still feel the same way?
Yeah, that was a personal issue that had nothing to do with
But
TV.
you dealt with it. But you dealt with it, right?
Yeah, we deal with everything.
Right.
People think that we have a fake relationship. I'm sorry, but my mom and dad been married for 32 years, and every day was not sunshine.
Right.
And I have friends that I've been friends with since I was 8 years old, and every day has not been sunshine.
Right.
When you have real relationships, you have ups and you have downs, and what drives you to keep going is how much love and how much care you have for those people. And sometimes you gotta love somebody more than they love you, and sometimes they're gonna love you more than you love
There you
them.
go.
But
And
that's how you build these amazing relationships and friendships.
Well, you just answered your own question. That's why. That's what he has. He has all that you don't. And you see it, and it works. And I thank you for coming here and showing us all your positives and your negatives and your A's and your B's. And tonight it airs on VH1. If you want to see what TV has got to show you, we've shown you the A and the B. They're going to show you what they want to show you. 107.5 WBLS.